Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today for what I know will be a really fantastic webinar. My name is Sandy Elson, and on behalf of the travel professional community and homebasedtravelagent.com, I want to welcome all of you and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy Thursday to join us today. I know you'll be happy you did. I'm very pleased that our host today is Passport Online. Passport Online is the industry leader in delivering comprehensive digital marketing solutions to travel agents. This includes websites, email marketing tools, and social media programs, all geared to work for and with the travel agent community. Our speaker today is Marilyn McAleer. Marilyn is Vice President, Business Development at Passport Online, where she oversees the marketing, sales, social media, and customer support areas. Marilyn's topic today is 3 ways to drive business to your website and how social media can help. And I know that's something that we always want to learn more about, so we appreciate Marilyn's talking about that. Before we get started, please remember that you are all muted, but we welcome your questions. You can type in your questions at any time in the question area you see on the right-hand panel of your screen. At the end of Marilyn's presentation, we'll get to as many questions as we can. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to Marilyn so she can get started. Welcome, Marilyn.
Well, thank you, Sandy, and good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here on Thursday afternoon. We're going to talk, this is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. We wanted to make this to give everybody time to get back to their, the business of selling, but also to kind of evaluate the few things that we're going to talk about and then give you some homework to go home with and review so that you can hopefully continue to drive business to your website. So I'm going to get going here with three things. I'm going to present 3 different topics as far as both driving business to your website and with including social media. So the first thing we're going to talk about is content for your website. We're going to talk about graphics, and we're going to talk about promotion. And clearly promotion is where the social media aspect comes in. So just to give you a little quote here to get you fired up, according to Zig Ziglar, which I love, this statement is people don't buy for logical reasons, they buy for emotional reasons. And there's no better example of that than travel. Clearly people buy, they want to go on vacation, they want to go someplace fantastic, they're looking to their travel professional to give them that kind of expertise, but at the end of the day they're buying because they're emotionally involved in where they want to go. So, content. Let's talk content first. Search engines love content. So we're going to talk about that and what you need to do in order to be better searched on the search engines because their algorithms change every day. So with content, you've got essentially you have 3 different kinds of content. You have unique content, you have supplier content, and then you have your call to action, which though it might seem intuitive to you guys, it actually isn't. And you have no idea how many fantastic websites we come upon with our travel agent community partners that don't have their contact information in their banner. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. So unique content, what does that mean? Unique content is what is all about you. So it's your specialty, it's your experience, it's your expertise, it's your agent's background, if you have agents, it's your background. It's really, I mean, it's difficult to use another word other than unique. It's what makes you stand out. It is what makes you different than your competitors or your partners or anybody within the community that's a travel agency. It's all about you. Supplier content, on the other hand, is who you work with. Okay, it's the shopping experience for your customers so that when they come in and search for a vacation on your website that they're going to find stuff to look at. It's you putting your preferred suppliers in there because you want to make sure that that your customer has choices. And you want to make sure that you have exclusives and specials. So if you belong to a consortia or a host agency, or you have your own negotiated exclusives, that you want to make sure that you're highlighting them on your website. And finally, your call to action. So how do they find you? They find you via an email address that needs to be on every page. They find you clearly through a phone number, and then finally through your social media links. So again, making sure that your call to action is very visible on every page of your website. So your website is really, what it does is it merchandises your services, your suppliers, and your expertise. But it also conveys your core values. Basically, your website needs to have a personality. It needs to express who you are, what you do, why you're passionate about travel, where you've been, all of the things, all of the reasons why you're in the travel business. That's what your website is giving the example to. So make sure that when you look at your website, and that's going to be your homework at the end of the day, is to go back and look at your website and look at it through these new eyes from the few elements that we're going to talk about. So unique content. Going back to unique content, what does it mean? It means it's relevant. It means that it's new content, that without new content, you can't really drive additional traffic to your website. So it means that you do have to update it. You have to keep it fresh. And that doesn't mean everything. It doesn't mean that you need to go into your website every single day and change something out, but it does mean that you have to visit it and update it, occasionally, maybe monthly. But clearly to make sure that you've got some new stuff on there. If you are a group travel professional, then add your groups and then make sure you're taking off the groups that have already expired. So that's a really easy way to update your website. Highlight your specialties and link to content, and I'll show you what that means. So if you are a Hawaii expert, if you're a destination wedding expert, if you love South America, make sure that that's highlighted in your paragraphs that talk about you, and then you can link them to content. If you add a slideshow of your trips, you're in the travel business. You guys all travel. You take pictures. You go on fam trips. You go on inaugurations of new cruise ships. You have to take pictures. And then the key here is to come back and put them on your website so that you're telling your customer, A, you've become an expert in something else, or that you're constantly keeping updated. So slideshows are really, really fun and key to add to your site. And blogging. Blogging is probably one of the most unique ways to add content to your site, because if you're blogging, you're adding information or a story or an update that's in your own words, and that's like nothing better. There's nothing better than writing something in your own words and updating your blog constantly. Now, I know that blogging is probably the hardest thing to do in social media because it actually requires you to go in and write something, and not everyone is a great writer, A, and B, not everyone has the time. But if you've got both of those things, if you can write a paragraph or a couple of sentences about where you were last, and if you can place that in a blog every week or so, that will increase your the unique content availability and also make you more searchable on the search engines. And finally, testimonials. Very, very critical. And those, unlike blogs, are easy to put on your website because you're asking your customer to write that, not you. But clearly, testimonials always become the critical point when a consumer is coming into your website. They're looking for some sanction, some credibility associated with why they should use you. I mean, how many of us go on to Amazon.com or go on to any retail website and look at reviews? What did this dress look like? How did the shoes fit? how waterproof was the rain jacket? Anything like that, you're looking for some reviews, some kind of reassurance that this is a good product. That's the same thing as testimonials, and that's why it's key to put testimonials on your website. Here's an example of expertise and then links. So this agency specializes in river and canal cruises, tailored land itineraries. Each one of these link into a page of content. And once again, I'll repeat myself a couple of times here, that is key on the search engine. Neil Miller, I love this one because there's the in the news, at which point you click into another page, and all of that is unique because it's either press releases or articles or something, or a video potentially that highlights exactly what's going on with this travel company. In addition, we've got lots of various links into destinations, all of which will highlight, go into a different page and bring up specific offers that a customer can look at. So clearly this is a great example of highlighting the expertise of the people within this agency, and then also linking directly into what those destinations, where those destinations go, and what kind of supplier content you have associated with it. Another great way is to highlight your agents and make sure that you alt tag their pictures, because that gives you more viral marketing as it relates to social media, but also it gives great credibility to the agents. And you'll see that these agents have been highlighted, that destination weddings, honeymoons, occasion travel, okay, all of those are in there. You'll also see agent reviews, so you can read agent reviews or you can add an agent review. Again, that's a testimonial. You see here that this agent is a specialist in group travel and in military travel. So these are the kinds of things that you want to highlight if you have agents that work for you, or if you have independent contractors, or if it's just you yourself. All of those are important for you to be able to highlight what you do on your About Us or customer service page. Supplier content. What's supplier content all about? Supplier content is what provides your consumer choices. That's where they're going to actually go in, they're going to review, and they're going to make some decisions. So you got to give them something to search for. You got to have some kind of a search capability on your site so that they'll be, when they go in and they look for a Caribbean cruise, that they're going to actually see some available options to them. You need to make the search intuitive and the navigation easy. So when you go in and kind of do the review of your website, make sure that your search box asks all the specific questions. What kind of travel type do they want? Cruises? Do they want land vacations? Where do they want to go? Is it a drop down, or can they type it in? What dates do they want? How many days do they want to go? So very specific kind of searches. Not so much supplier specific, because really and truly, in the eyes of a consumer, they want to go on a river cruise. They don't really know the difference between Avalon or Ama or Viking or Uniworld. They just want to go on a river cruise. The difference expertise is you. You know the differences, so you're going to be able to talk about that. But right now, when they're in searching and shopping around, you want to make sure you've given them enough options so they have good questions to ask. The suppliers you feature and the depth and breadth of that content adds to your credibility. Again, the more that you give them based on who your preferred suppliers are, the more choices they have, but at the same time, it also adds to the fact that you only work with the best. And then if you belong to a consortium or a host agency, or you've negotiated your own specials or your own groups, you need to make sure that those are highlighted. You need to make sure that those offers and those suppliers that provide you the highest commissions and also add special amenities or special promotions for your consumer, that those are highlighted on your website. You want to stand out. And it's very key to make sure that you are highlighting the preferred supplier, the best suppliers in the industry. It says something about who you are. So finally, your call to action is how to find you, obviously. So just to give you some ideas of how you make sure that you integrate the ability to contact you within the banner, specifically within the banner or the header of your website. If it can be elegantly integrated into the banner like this one is, and I love this banner, that's fantastic. But then this is another way to integrate it into the banner, or you can just put it into the header, which is just below your banner or your logo, but making sure that, so what happens here is that every time a customer goes into your site and then moves deeper into your site, if they're looking at, they're on an offer detail page or they're looking at a specific page of offers, that because this is in the banner or the header, it's going to move with every page. So you want to make sure, and it's not just in the footer, it's in the header as well, because lots of people don't scroll all the way down to the footer. So you want to make sure that your call to action is absolutely on the top of your page. So graphics are the second thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about images, because graphics are the key to a fantastic user experience. This is where the emotional part comes in. And it's key for you to make sure that you have good graphics on your website, that they're clear, that they're of high quality, and that we prefer, and what we as a website solution company make sure and encourage, is that you use your own graphics. I'm sure many of you have experienced the nasty letter from Getty Images or other agencies that go searching for misuse of graphics. And sometimes, most times, it's completely inadvertently. It's not intentional, but it can get pretty nasty. If you use your own graphics, you don't have to worry about that. So when we're talking about your website, and you're in the travel industry, you're taking lots of pictures, make sure you use as many of your own graphics as you can. So you want crisp, beautiful images, that goes without saying. If you're going to add videos, add a video. And the best way to do that is, even if you're taking a video, if you're on inaugural of a new cruise ship and you've taken a video, and even if you've narrated it, make sure you download it. If you have your own YouTube account, download it into YouTube and convert it, because what you really don't want to do is put a bunch of videos directly on your site, because it takes up a bunch of bandwidth, and sometimes people that are in your site may not be able to pull it up quickly and look at it. So best thing to do is convert it to a YouTube video, let them be the host, and then put that on your website. Slideshows, we've talked about that. Key is to put slideshows of your experiences on your site, and then make sure you swap them out periodically. So if you've got a slideshow on your home page of a trip you took to Peru in 2014, I would think you haven't been out of the country, or you haven't traveled since 2014. So I'm not saying don't have it on, but keep a slideshow either on your home page or on your cruise page or on your land vacation page, whatever. Kind of keep them updated so that they're relevant, so that they're new. And finally, tag your photos with alt tags, because that's one of the great ways to be searched. When a search engine is scoping out your site, they can't read, those little bots. Guys can't read photos, but they can read the tag that you put on your photos. So if you've been on a trip to Greece and you were standing at the Acropolis, you want to tag that picture as the Acropolis or whatever you want to call it, because that's what will be read by the search engines. So just a little tip there. This is a great example of a slideshow. And let me see if I can find it. Well, I don't I don't have it, so I'm not going to show it to you. Oh, yes, I do have it. Sorry. Let's keep going. So this is I wanted to go live with this because this is one of our Passports customer, but he's a retired Marine, and he's added this great little slideshow of his family on his About Us, his customer service page, and it indicates two things. One is it gives you a really warm feeling about him and his family, he specializes in families and groups, and also gives you a warm feeling about him and where he's been and what he does. So I just wanted to give a good example of what a great slideshow looks like. Oops, I just blew that away. So that's just a fun example of something that you can do on your customer service page. So, okay, you've got a great website, you've set it up, you've got really unique content, you've talked about yourself, you've got your suppliers included on your site. So what's the key to your success with your website? And that is promotion. So if you've got this great site, how does anybody know about it? So you've got to promote your website. Make sure people know that your website is important to you. One of the things that we've run into in the course of, kind of our 20+ years of being in the travel industry, providing technology products to travel professionals and suppliers, is that for a long time, websites were considered a necessary evil almost with travel agents. Yeah, we have to have one, but we don't pay too much attention to it. And then they wonder why they don't get anybody coming to their website, and they don't get any business from it. So you have to embrace your website. It has to be part of your marketing strategy, and you have to be proud of it. That's why I say go in there and look at it with some new eyes. It needs to be important to you. You need to be talking to your customers and to people on the street about visiting your website to get ideas of where to go on their next vacation. If you have agents, if you have independent agents, independent contractors working for you, make sure that they're engaged. Do they know about your website? Do they go on your website to see what's on there? Do they refer their customers to your website? That should be part of your training strategy as you're bringing on new ICs, or if you have individual agents in your offices, is to make sure that they embrace your website as well, because it's part of who they are too. You're selling a brand, you're selling a culture, and if everybody isn't embracing it, then if it's not important to you, it's certainly not going to be important to your customer. So you need to promote it. It's got to be on your business card. It's got to be on your signature, on your invoices, on your auto hold message. If you're a brick and mortar agency, it needs to be stenciled on your window. It needs to be on your banner on the top of your office. It needs to be, stenciled on the side of your car. I mean, any place that you can put your website URL out there, you need to do it. So when you're walking the dog, make sure that the dog's collar has your website URL on it. And then finally, use social media. Clearly, that's going to be the biggest way to promote your website now, because it is what it is. It's so viral. So one of our customers just recently said, and actually this was quoted in a trade publication. We didn't ask her to say this, but she said, I feel that I need to be involved in various social media platforms, just like I need to have a business card and a website. So that clearly states the importance of social media. 5 years ago, nobody would have said that in the confines of your travel agency business. But now, everyone has to have a business card. Now everyone has to have a website. And now even more, everyone has to be involved in social media. And they're all intertwined. So let's take a look a little bit behind the curtain, and we'll give you some tips on social media. Just a couple of things that will help you make sure that you've got kind of all the dots connected as associated with your website and with your social media channels. First of all, make sure that you link to your website from all of your social media accounts. So if you have a Facebook business page and a Facebook personal page, make sure that your About area includes your website URL, and that means on both of them. So you'll see that we have the website URL under the About page. This is the business page, but also you should put it on your personal page as well. On Instagram, include a link on your website profile. And Instagram does the heavy lifting. They automatically make that a clickable link. So if you just add your URL web address onto Instagram, they will do the rest. And make sure that your phone number is on there as well. There's no harm in doing that. So a great example of Instagram usage is the whole information here on the top of the profile that shows you. And then a great one with mixture of personal and business on Instagram is this one, where there's kind of an inclusion of both, but keeping in mind that you've got your information up top. With Pinterest, make sure you enter your website on your profile as well, because they do the heavy lifting and will automatically make it a clickable link as well. So if you've got a Pinterest account, make sure that your website URL address is on your Pinterest profile. And the same, so Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. Those are the three key that we have suggested. Clearly with Twitter, you're going to link from Facebook to your Twitter account and vice versa. Your Twitter account would link back to Facebook. And then also with Pinterest and Instagram. So now you need to make sure that if you've got your website link on your social media icons, social media pages, that you make sure that you've got your social media icons linking from your website. So you need to add them to the header and footer of your site. So again, much like your contact information, that they are showing up on every page. And this is just a good example. This is in the banner, so you'll see the Facebook and Instagram icons. Here's all of them: Google+, blog, Facebook, email, all within the confines of the banner, so that it moves with every page. And here's a good idea. It's a good idea to link to your website at least once a week from a social media post. So if you're posting on Pinterest, if you're posting on Instagram or Facebook, once a week, link that post back to your website. It just keeps your followers engaged, and it continues to reinforce the fact that you're in the travel business. So, and you can be creative. So you can make up ways to link to different pages, and you can do that via some themes. So here's some examples. Travel insurance. We all know, we as travel professionals all know that consumers need to purchase travel insurance if they're going on big, major trips. We saw what happened when the volcano erupted in Iceland. We've seen what happened with, tsunamis and earthquakes and natural disasters all over the place. And you all get calls because you're the travel professional and you booked the business. So you really want your customers to be buying travel insurance. Well, a good post would be add a link to your insurance page. Talk about the importance of travel insurance on a post and then link it to your insurance page on your website. Also, you can do all sorts of things. You could literally, if you've got a really robust website, you could come up with 52 ideas for 52 different pages on your site of just, creative ideas. Hawaii, every destination you feature could have a specific post, about something fun. It's Cinco de Mayo. We just had Cinco de Mayo. You could link to a Mexico series. So what's the weather like in Jamaica? What's the time zone in, Lisbon or Australia? How do I apply for a passport? What's the euro rate? All of those things all of those answers could be located on your travel resource page. So if you have a travel resource page, if you have a link to the State Department for passports, if you have a currency converter on your site, link to it, but create something fun as a post in order to drive that follower into your website. And as I said before, make sure that you list your agency as the place you work on your personal page. So you see here that this is a personal page, but and on the intro, he just doesn't own the agency with Sheila. He put the link to the agency right on his bio, and then it pops up and tells you that can drive you to the travel company, which is the business page. So make sure you list your agency on your Facebook personal page as well. So we're winding down here. Let's recap. Content is important for search. Images, that encourages the emotional buy. That's what you want. And then promotion is all about social media these days. So at this point in time, let's kind of go into what we can help you with if you're interested. The bottom line here is I encourage you all to go back to your websites and take a look at them and see if you can apply a couple of these recommendations today and just boost your site up and give it a little bit of a facelift. If you're interested in learning more about our website products, this is what we do for a living, and this is what we've been doing for over 20 years. So we kind of know what's going on in this part of the travel industry technology space. We have a product called NextSite, which is a full website program. It includes supplier content, and if you belong to a consortia or a host, we most likely will have those exclusives since we work with every consortia and many of the largest host agencies. It's fully customizable. So again, it presents who you are and what you sell. So this is the uniqueness of it. It's fully customizable. We'll build it for you, but you add the stuff. You help us add the stuff that you want to say about yourself. And it's $55 a month, okay? And we've waived the setup fee for this specific webinar. So if you're interested and you contact us, we will not charge you the $150 setup fee that we normally do. We also have a product called Vacation Port, and that's for agents that have websites but they need the content. So it's a search box, it's all the supplier content, it's the ability for you to put a shopping box on your website and encourage your consumers to come in and search for a vacation and have the ability to contact you to purchase it. It includes supplier content. It has all the consortia exclusives just as NextSite does, and it's $40 a month. So, and just to clarify, these are either or, they're not both. So if you want a full website, it's NextSite. If you have a website but you'd like to add supplier content, then it's Vacation Port. So you don't need them both. And finally, our social media product is ESP. And what we did about 2 years ago was, after about 18 months of doing a lot of research and focus groups, we determined that the biggest barrier for travel agents to get into and stay involved in social media was time, that they didn't have the time and they didn't know what to post. So we created a product that automatically posts content directly to your Facebook business page. So and we do a very, very discreet job of finding fun, relevant images and textual posts, so it's nothing that is out of the ordinary. You can opt out of any post that is queued up, because what we do is we have a dashboard. You go into your dashboard once or twice a week. We queue the posts up for 3 or 4 days. You can go in, review them, and then you can block anything you don't want. So maybe, you don't want to talk about Cuba right now because you haven't learned enough about Cuba. If we have a promotion or specifically a post that is highlighting Cuba, you could go in. All you have to do is click on the box that says block, and that will post to your site. If you have suppliers, it will respect that, so it wouldn't post anything that you didn't prefer. And then if you have next site or vacation posts, some of the posts, the supplier posts that we queue up, will link directly back to your website. So that's an added advantage of having a next site or vacation port product as well. However, with ESP, you do not need to have the other two products. You can purchase ESP for $15 a month. So that is our ESP social media product, and we've had a huge success with ESP. Over 1,500 agents participate in it now, and that represents about 1 million followers. So it's been a very successful program, and the reason it is because it's easy. It provides the ability for you, the travel agent, to post on your Facebook page every day, but you don't have to do anything. So it keeps you consistently posting. It's not meant to replace what you're doing, because you should also be posting yourself, but it's meant to make sure that you are consistently posting so that your followers see that you're kind of always out there. And again, it's about reminding your followers that you're in the travel business. So you can contact us via sales, or you can call us. You can go on our website and look up any one of the products that we have, and you can contact us in a number of different ways. So with that, I'm going to take questions. Sandy, if you want to pop back on and start the questioning.
Fantastic, Marilyn. Thank you so much. That was so much valuable information. I know that our agents are scribbling like crazy because many have asked how they can see this webinar again. And just to remind everybody, you can see this webinar again. We'll be posting it in the travel professional community in our videos area, or you can see it at www.homebasedtravelagent.com or on Tom Ogg's YouTube channel. So let's get to some questions. One of our agents said she connected her Twitter to Facebook, and the Twitter account doesn't show the photos that she posted on Facebook. Is that supposed to happen?
No. Even when the tiny URL was clicked on, it didn't pull the photos up.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's
yeah, exactly. You know what? We probably want to take that question offline and get back to that individual agent to walk her through maybe something that wasn't connected.
Okay, so this is a good time.
I'll be happy to have a member of our team get in touch with her afterwards.
Okay, great. And this is a good time to say that if I don't get to your question, or if you think of something after the webinar is over, Marilyn has the various contact information up on her screen, so make a note of it, and they'll be happy to help.
And we will reconfirm, Sandy, just to reconfirm that, we will, once we get your list of all the questions, we will actually follow up individually with each agent, regardless of whether or not we've answered it online.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. One of our agents wants to know if they're putting their personal photos on social media, pictures they've taken on trips, should they mark them or watermark them or copyright them or something somehow?
They don't really have to. What they should do is alt tag them.
And alt tag means exactly what?
At least alt tag them, and then what happens is you'll see a little tag come up, and you can put, your own, you tag yourself if you want to, and anybody else in there, or you can just say that, it's the oasis of the seas or whatever. But you don't really have to, because it is on your Facebook page. So you don't have to watermark them or anything.
Okay. One of our agents is saying, you had mentioned that Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest are the big three. She is on Facebook, but she feels like there isn't enough time in the day to uh, keep all of them updated. What's your response to that?
Well, definitely Facebook is the best one to be on. And then, and I can tell you, like, just from from our research, we can't, we were going to expand ESP to other social media channels, and we can't do it with Instagram because they won't let you. They don't let any third-party posting take place at all. So my recommendation is stick with Facebook, post on there as much as you can, and then if you can occasionally post on Instagram or Pinterest, do that, because in some cases you might have a completely different audience. But, you know, understandable that you can't do it all, but do one consistently. Stay engaged with one.
Okay, great advice. And once you post on Facebook, once you post pictures on Facebook, if other people share those pictures, are you giving up ownership or are they still yours?
No, they're still yours.
Okay, we'll take a couple of more questions. What is the cost to add ESP if you are a Nextsite customer?
$15 a month.
And is ESP only available to your business page or can you have it for your personal page as well?
No, we can only post to your business page, but another series of webinars that we do talks about other things that you should do as far as expanding your social media reach. And one of those is that you should share anything that gets posted on your business page. You should share it so that it goes to your personal page.
Okay, and one last
That
question,
reach
and
might be different.
yeah, last question about social media, and last question for today. What is your feeling about LinkedIn? Should that be one of the top ones?
LinkedIn, yeah, LinkedIn is basically considered a professional community. And so posting kind of leisure images and things are not necessarily welcome from a LinkedIn perspective. If you're going in to talk about, you know, you've changed your address, you've added new agents, something that relates to your business, then LinkedIn is fine. But just posting kind of random leisure types of postings on LinkedIn is not recommended.
Okay, fantastic. And again, if you're interested in seeing this webinar again, it will be available in our travel agent community in about 24 hours after the end of the webinar. I want to thank you so much. Our host today from Passport Online has been Marilyn McAleer, Vice President, Business Development at Passport Online. Marilyn, this has been like drinking from a fire hose. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandy. It's always fun to be able to come on and, you know, just give a couple of helpful hints. The travel professional community is hugely busy and hugely successful, but what we want to do is just keep helping them be more successful.
Well, we really appreciate it. This was really news that we can use right now when we sign off of this webinar. So thank you again. And thank you to all of our travel agents who joined us today. We really appreciate it. And we love that you took time out of your day. I know that you got a lot out of this. So enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Marilyn. Bye-bye.